What if I told you that daily mini victories can lead to big wins? Stay tuned if we want to learn how. Let's dive in. Hey, what's going on? My name is Greg, your favorite burn survivor, and welcome to the podcast. So today we're going to be talking about daily small victories and how they can lead to big wins. Now, I know a lot of you may set goals during the day. When you first wake up, you're like, all right, I have all these things that I want to get done today. And you make a list of 10, maybe 15 things that you want to knock off your list because they're important to you, or you just been kind of, I'll get around to it later. But there's something that you're doing wrong when you make so many goals set for one day. Now you're probably like, wait, aren't I supposed to set goals? Aren't I supposed to have some objectives that I'm supposed to reach to or reach for the day? You're right. But setting too many goals during one day, it can be overwhelming because you have so much to do and you only have but so much time. So if you have to go on one side of town, if you have to work, when you get off work, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you're trying to get everything done all in a certain amount of time, it's almost impossible. So what we're going to learn today is how you can actually simplify that, how you can make realistic goals, and how you can hit those goals. So let's learn how you can do that. So for most people, setting goals can be sometimes difficult. It could be overwhelming because you don't know exactly what to put on that goal list, or you can just say, I have so much to do, I don't know where to start. And I get it. I was like that. I made a goal list. I had about 10 to 11 things I wanted to get done in a day. And if I didn't get all of it done, I was upset with myself. I may get like 5 things done on a list. I'll be sort of upset at myself. I'm like, oh man, you didn't get your goals done today. You have more stuff that you have to do tomorrow. Why didn't you get it done? And I was really hard on myself. And what you have to realize is that sometimes you have to give yourself grace. So one of the first steps that you want to take when you're making your goal list is you want to set what's most important first. Now, you may say, I have to go to the supermarket. I have to go drop the books off the library. I have to go take this person over here. I have to go do that. Or if you work during the Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, you have a limited amount of time to do certain things. So you want to put what's most important at the top of that list. I usually start with the 5 most important things on my list first. Now, if there's something that can be done on the weekends, or if it can be an email, if it could be a phone call, a text message, whatever I can do to make it easier for me to get those things done, I will do so. But those 5 priority things will go on that list first. All right. So we're going to start with 5 things that you need to get done that's most important. Now, you're probably wondering, like, why are we starting off with just 5 goals? Well, there's something called task resolution. I'm not going to get all science on you, but your brain has this urge that it wants to get the goal done. It wants to tick off the box. So it doesn't matter how big or small that task is. Your brain just wants to get it done. Now, when you check off that box, it's going to set off something in your brain that says, all right, great. We did a good job. We completed one goal, and let's move on to the next thing. And you feel good about yourself. All right. It's going to start sending the dopamine and everything through your body. And you're going to start to feel good about what you did, even if it was the smallest task, such as just washing the dishes or cleaning the bathroom. Okay. So just doing that one simple task of just putting 5 goals, ticking one goal off, and you working your way through that list can be a major win for you just in that one little thing. Now, one thing that I do every single day is I make myself a goal list. It doesn't matter how big or small that goal list is. I make myself a goal list. Now, it can also be for things that I'm already going to do. So for instance, I go to the gym 4 times a week. So I put on my goal list, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to read the Bible. I'm going to shower. And, I'm going to record some videos, drop my kids off at school. Those things matter. So when you start checking those things off, you're starting to build a habit that you have to stick to your goal list, and you're working hard to complete those tasks. So now we're going to move on to step 2, celebrating your goals. So When you finally complete that one goal or even the whole goal list, you want to celebrate yourself. Now, I'm not saying, hey, you know what? I went to the gym today. I'm going to check it off on my goal list. Then I'm going to go hit McDonald's and go get myself a Big Mac. I am not saying to do that at all. But you want to celebrate yourself. And oftentimes we have a hard time celebrating ourselves, even for the biggest things. For me, I don't like to celebrate my birthday. What I do is I like to celebrate myself and I tell myself, good job. You know, you really worked hard at it. And I talk myself up in my head, and that's important that you have to do that. So if you don't celebrate yourself, you know, it's just going to seem like something that's just menial and you're just checking it off and you're going through the day like you're a robot. You're not a robot. So make sure that you celebrate yourself and those small wins that you complete. Now, one of the most important things that you have to remember when you're setting your goals, you want to do it every day and you want to keep the momentum going. So don't set goals one day, then the following day you don't set any goal, then the next day you set a goal. You have to be consistent. So what you're doing is you're forming a habit and you're going to tell your brain that, all right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to get done today, and I'm going to check off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to keep that momentum going. You want to keep it rolling. So if you challenge yourself to just doing 7 days of creating habits, to where you're creating yourself a goal list, you're checking off those goals, you're celebrating yourself, you're going to start to notice a difference in how you get things done. You're going to be more organized. You're going to have your thoughts together. You're going to say, all right, what are some other things that I've been putting off that I want to get done? What have I been procrastinating with that I can say, you know what? Let me put this on my goal list and let me see if I can get this done. You know what? Not let me see, but let me get this done. It doesn't matter how hard it is, even if it's just one thing that you put on your goal list for the day. A short story, my girlfriend, when we first got together, she would have like 7 to 10 things on her goal list that she will want to get done, and she'll be running around all day trying to get these things done. And she's like, hey, what's on your plans today? So I'm like, well, I have like 3 things I need to get done. I need to go over here, I need to go over here, and I need to go over here, and I'll get those 3 things done today. And I always made it a priority not to put too many things on my goal list, because I'm not trying to stress myself out trying to get these things done. You know, they weren't that important that it couldn't wait until the next day. But you know, I made myself say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna put these 3 things on my goal list today. I'm gonna get those things done and I'll be cool with it. You know, if it's something that is a hard task or it's gonna take you a long time to do, make sure you go in the order of importance. And if it's going to take you all day to do, don't put other things on your goal list and say, you know what, I'm going to try to get this done and then I'm going to try to squeeze these in, because you're only going to make yourself upset and you're going to feel like, you know, you let yourself down if you don't get those things done. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this video brought you value, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.